Hello my friends, Liberty Garden, November 2nd. I'm at the farm and I am just getting ready to eat, taking a break. It's about 3 o'clock and just got done. I had some help earlier today and we just got done doing some fencing in the front, and I already took him back to his house. These guys that I get help around, they live about 3 miles away from here, but they don't have a car, so I take him back and forth. And now I'm gonna eat something. He didn't want to eat. He wanted to go back home. I said, okay, well, go ahead. So there's a lot of sausage here now. I guess I'll have to eat it all myself. And I'll be putting this here. And I got some veggies that I'm gonna mix, and it'll be a good meal. And this little skillet here, this little cast iron pan, we got it at a garage sale. They were giving it away for $2 or something like that. It was all rusted, so I took the rust out, washed it first with soap and a sponge, and then I took the rust out with a metal brush, and then with some fine metal wool, just took all the rust out and put it in the oven for maybe like 30 minutes. And then I took it out and put a coat of oil on it, and it's good as new. And I just leave this one in here, and inside this grill. I just close the grill and leave the pan inside here facing down, and I use it on a different day. This grill too, the things people give away. This grill is perfectly good. I mean, it's a good grill. And this guy put a outside kitchen in his house, and he was giving away this grill. So I said, well, I'll take it to the farm, and I brought it over here, and now I have a grill at the farm. So I'm just using this little side stove. I'm gonna put these veggies in here now. Oh my, it's gonna be a lot of food. There we go. How about that? Put in my little trusty Swiss Army knife. So I forgot to bring a spoon to move this thing around, so that should work. I'll lower the heat, it's a little high. There we go, that should be good. These veggies are frozen. It'll be a lot of food. I normally bring for two because my other worker, he does like to eat here. We take a break and we eat, and then we go back to work. But this other guy, he's new, and my other worker couldn't come out here today, so he told me to bring this guy, and he wanted to go back home. So it's okay. Just let it cook. I wish I had a lid to cover it so the veggies could get warm quicker. Oh, well, let's see. We do have a lid here somewhere. Let's see if this works. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So, well, that's it, folks. Looks like it's gonna be a pretty cold winter. I know Wes has made a video mocking all the solar minimum guys. What's it called? The solar minimum, or I don't know, grand solar minimum, all this stuff. There's a lot of people talking about that, but I think there is some truth to that. I don't think there's anything we can do about it other than prepare. But I think there is some truth to the solar cycles affecting our environment here on the Earth. I mean, I certainly believe that more than I do the whole global warming crap that's man-made. No offense, hooples. But the whole thing about the sun being a little bit inactive and then our weather being a little bit colder here on Earth, well, that makes sense. I remember the '80s. I was a kid back then. I was probably 10 years old or something, starting at the '80s, and I used to go to school in Mexico. And I went to a school over there that was a very poor school. It was morally and economically, it was a very poor school. And the kids were all broken up from families that are all broken up, and their parents were drunks, or some of them were prostitutes and stuff like that. It was a good school. Discipline was enforced, to say the least. We were disciplined at that school, physically, and those kids were there, man. I remember the teachers used to hit you with rulers, or if you didn't do your homework, they would put you in a corner, kneeling down in a corner and facing the wall. Sometimes if you did real bad on a test, they would put you kneeling against the corner and put a hat with long ears like a donkey on your head, facing the wall. Teachers would used to hit you in the head with their graduation ring, and if you really wanted to, if you really did something wrong, they would send you to the principal's office. It was a lady. To me, she seemed old, but she was only about 60 or so, and she was used to slap the crap out of people every day. So yeah, there was a lot of discipline in that school, but it was a very poor school. We didn't have windows. Sometimes, I mean, we had windows, but it was single pane windows. It was a concrete building outside, not even inside of buildings. So their classrooms were concrete buildings outside. And in winter, some of those windows were broken. And in winter, you were there. We were only there from 8 to 1 o'clock. Not like here in the U.S. that you were all the way up to 3 o'clock. And you're shivering the whole time in the classroom. The teacher, I remember, that she would take a heater like for her feet, but us, we were in there just shivering, right? And some of these kids would go to school and they just had like a little light jacket on them and stuff like that. It was a very, very poor school, like I said. And they were not too far from where I lived as a child. I mean, maybe like 8 or 15 blocks away. There was this real bad part of town, and a lot of these kids were from there because schools back then were not like one in every corner like we have nowadays. You had to walk to your school, and so all these kids were just freezing their butts off, including myself. But I remember the '80s was a very cold decade, at least it seemed to me, and I was in an area, in Laredo, Texas, or right across the border, Nuevo Laredo. And that area is real hot and it's real mild in the winter, but the '80s was a cold decade. And I don't know if we were going through one of those Maunder minimums that they're talking about today or not, but man, that was a cold decade. I haven't felt cold that much since then. Maybe I gotten used to it, because then I came to the U.S. and in the U.S. schools were air conditioned, and we had gyms and enclosed gyms and all kinds of amenities. It was awesome, and so I never felt cold that way anymore. But this year we started having our first frost. Was just a couple of days ago. That's unusually early. Our first frost in our area. I mean, I garden every year, right? Our first frost, I can count on it, is November 15th, and this year we had it about 2 weeks early, almost 3 weeks early, our first frost. So maybe we are going to get a very cold year. So just be careful. I think this might be ready. I'm not sure. Let me see. There's still carrot here. Come on. Oh, sweet mother. Good stuff. Well, folks, just a little video on me preparing some food to eat. A little history about where I went to school and how crappy that school was. But I had a lot of fun, you know. I went to school, and I guess I was sort of the little rich kid in the block. I mean, not rich, but I did have good clothes and cars at home, and I had toys and stuff. And we used to play in the playgrounds in that school with a rock or a can. We used to play soccer, and we just kicked the thing around. And I remember that many times I thought about taking my balls. I had different soccer balls and stuff there, but you know, anybody who took a ball to school, he wouldn't come back home with it because somebody would take it. These were real poor kids, and they would take it and steal it from you. So I never took any toys out there to school. And we used to play with a rock and stuff like that, play soccer, and that's how it was. But I'll tell you something. When I came to the U.S., I didn't know much English. Uh, I only took about a 3 month intensive course in summer before I came to the U.S. because we had applied for citizen for a green card, and that process normally takes about 10 years. So we were not expecting to get it anytime soon, and just it just came the next year. It said, "Hey, you know, if you guys want the green card, you better come live in the U.S." So my mother said, "Okay, well, we're gonna go over there," and I took a 3 month course of an English course, a 3 month English course. Just that my mother hired a tutor for me, and she would go in the summer and teach me a couple of things, and that's all I had when I went to the U.S. And even that, even like that, school seemed a little bit easier when I came here, especially the math, because I mean math I was just like, I don't know, for some reason in Mexico they teach math a lot faster than they do here in the U.S. So math was easy, even though I didn't know the language. It was easy. Where I had a little more trouble was in the social sciences and stuff that required me to read and write and stuff like that. So I got held back. I was placed back 2 years, and then I recovered those 2 years before I got out of sixth grade. I just kept on testing out. Uh, but that's how it was. So it was a strict school, but it was very poor. But you learned. I mean, I learned a lot of stuff in that school because it was just hard. I mean, sometimes the reason you learned is because you didn't want to be sitting and kneeling in that corner with donkey ears in your head. So you studied your ass off. It wasn't because the teachers were that great or anything like that. It's just like you just studied because you had to. Otherwise, you'd be shamed or smacked in the head or something. But anyway, folks, I'm about to start eating this. Until next time.